Stop.
Yep.
Hello everyone, it's the part 2 you've all been waiting for. Part 2 on this 98 GMC. In part 1, we removed the transmission out of it and I sent it off to a rebuild shop. It took them 3 or 4 months, but they finally rebuilt it for me. And guess what? It only cost $350. What we're gonna do today is we're actually gonna bring this up to a transmission shop and they're gonna install it for us. Just because of with my back, the way it is, I can't lie on the ground the way I did to pull out the transmission. Here is my rebuilt transmission. So we got this truck loaded up. I'm gonna be towing it with that white truck over there, which you'll see. So here we are, we made it to the AMCO. There's only one in Vermont, it's in Burlington. She's unloaded. We got the good old muffler choke and just pushed it up against the curb here. But today is the day after 6 months in the transmission shop. The transmission is finally ready, so we're gonna go ahead and try to start it up, bring it back, and take a look around it. It's finally done. So first I brought it to a shop to rebuild it. They rebuilt it for 350 bucks, and then I brought it to this shop to put the transmission in for me because I was having back issues and I couldn't lift it up. And it's finally done. I don't know what took them 6 months, but so we're gonna go check it out and see how that looks. So we're pulling into AMCO now, which is where I dropped it off. I think they're just so swamped that they take their sweet time. Look at these, all these cars pulled out on the road. These are all their cars that they haven't got to yet. And then of course their lot is full here too. So there's just a lot of transmissions that go out and only one transmission shop really. But right there you can see that is the pickup truck. Here's the truck. So I have some tools here. We're gonna need to pump up the tires. It needs a battery and then we're gonna start it up. So this tire is getting pumped up first. The rest still holds some wind in it, which is good. There's the tranny, she's all in there. Just realized that when I took the transmission out, I couldn't get the exhaust off because it was rusted, so I just cut it right there, which was a bad idea looking back. Usually there's an O2 sensor that goes right there, which is now just totally gone. The wire's just hanging there. And I don't know if the truck will actually run with an O2 sensor not hooked up, but I guess we're gonna find out. I'm still working on getting it running, which I still don't know if it'll do without an O2 sensor. Hopefully it does. Oil looks great. Coolant's a little low, so we're gonna stop at the store and get some more coolant. Power steering fluid is empty, and now that I'm thinking back on it, I remember that the lines on this truck leak, so it needs new power steering fluid lines. But I do remember that it leaks at a pretty high rate of speed. When it starts, or if it starts, it's gonna be loud, loud, loud. So looking under here, this is where the exhaust comes out. This open header, which is probably not great. That one at least comes down a little bit. Oops, forgot about that. Battery here is in. We're gonna try to start it now. It's got gasoline. So there's the power steering leak. We found it. I remembered it was leaking big time. I'm taking off the skirt now to access the power steering line because that leak is so fast that it'll run this pump dry in like a minute. And I do not want to have to replace the power steering pump. Hopefully we can get this fixed. Pulled off the skirt, which is there. It's leaking from two little pin rust holes from the power steering line. It's a really accessible, easy spot to get to. The problem is I'm not sure I have the tools I need. So here is where it's actually leaking from, is this spot here. So I just ran to the store, we got some fuel line, and there's not much I can do about this because I didn't bring any power tools, but we're gonna cut it here and then just slit it and slip it over the thing and then clamp it down. Hopefully that's good enough. This here will slit around that line. So here's the fix. This is the fuel line. It's got a slit on the other side, and then it's just clamped on tightly here, kind of like a diaper for the power steering fluid. So we're gonna start it up and see how bad it leaks now. So with that, it should be ready to drive back. Here we go. Well, we got first gear, I think. Oh yeah, here we go. All right, power steering pump is whining badly. There's first, and there's second. We got third gear. Oh yeah. Put her into fourth. Oh yeah! So I just filled up the power steering fluid at AutoZone, and now it's steering a lot better too. Got her in fifth gear, cruising down the highway just fine. Not gonna go too fast in case the tire bursts, and this speedometer definitely is reading fast. But hey, we're just cruising. Runs good. It made it back. I'm gonna go park it, and then hopefully I can show you more around it, and then give you an outside view of it driving. As you can see, the truck made it back great. There's a little bit of leaking there from the power steering pump, so that's not totally fixed. That'll be next on the list. It's looking still in decent shape. Obviously there's some rust, but for a GMT 400 it's in great shape. Driver's side is also fairly clean, other than that dent there. So I think it just needs that exhaust on it, and then maybe some rocker panels, and really it should be good. These are my favorite type of trucks ever, the GMT 400 platform. I mean, I've got this one, and then I've of course got the dump truck. So I just love them. One of the best trucks ever built, if not the best. So let's go ahead and go for a little point of view ride in this thing. We're gonna go just drive it around the block, and I'll put the camera in the back seat so you can see how it works. All right, let's take this thing for a little spin. have it. That's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. Glad to have this truck back. I'll see you soon.